My name is Greg Rudolph from Heartland Green Earth, and I'd like to introduce a Canadian-made product manufactured by i-SOLV International, located in Abbotsford, BC. This is a new and innovative absorbent foam called AbsorbOil. It isn't ordinary foam though. AbsorbOil is made of plant oils, renewable resources, and is eco-friendly. It's non-flammable prior to contamination and has been treated with an antimicrobial to resist fungus, mold, and mildew growth. I've used a 5 5/8 by 11 1/4 by 1 inch thick squeeze pad, an 11 1/4 by 11 1/4 by 1/4 inch thick squeeze wipe to absorb almost a liter of oil that was in that tray. I find a side press mop bucket an inexpensive and effective method to squeeze the contaminants out of the AbsorbOil. I modified the wringer with this 2x8 board using a couple of nuts back here as spacers to angle the board so I get a flat, even, tight squeeze. AbsorbOil will absorb up to 15 times its weight in all types of hydrocarbons, antifreeze, and even herbicide without holding water. This allows it to work well in sumps and on spills as it floats on the surface and absorbs the hydrocarbons. Pads and socks can be placed under equipment and rigs prior to pressure washing, and the AbsorbOil will catch the hydrocarbons but will allow the water to run through. So this particular size pad will hold 0.62 liters. So let's put it in the press and see what comes out. The larger size pads, 11 1/4 by 22 1/2, can be folded over and still fit easily into the press. And this is usually when people say, wow, that's a lot of oil. And it is a lot of oil coming from that small size pad. I also timed how long it took to absorb the oil, and in 35 seconds all that oil in the tray was absorbed completely into the pad. There hasn't been available an absorbent pad that will absorb as fast as AbsorbOil or even come close to this quantity of absorption. And this is where the cost savings begin. You can reuse this durable foam over and over again, but you only have to buy it once. That oil that goes into the bucket can be dumped into your used oil recovery tank for credits or be taken to a recycle depot at no charge. It doesn't end up in a landfill. The people and companies that care will use this product to minimize their footprint on the environment. So now we've got the wipe. This size here will hold 0.3 liters. It's also available in 11 1/4 by 22 1/2 inch size. These wipes are a great replacement for rags and the traditional absorbent pads that are out there. Touching on the environmental statement, if this was a traditional absorbent pad that has been used in the past, the proper disposal of it, as per regulations, is to have a container on site to be picked up by a waste disposal company and trucked to a landfill that is capable of handling contaminated pads. The improper method is to throw it in the garbage can. So responsible companies and people that do follow compliance know all too well the expense of disposing of those contaminated pads. And as you can see, the AbsorbOil allows you to effectively eliminate those overhead costs. So absorb oil is available in socks and booms as well. We've got the mesh bags, and there's also trays that we can place the pads into, and we can maximize the absorption of the pad without any leakage or spillage. So thank you for watching this video, and we look forward to have you join us in complying with the environmental regulations while reducing overhead costs.